Welcome back to Aesthetics Magazine. Discover more skincare resources at aestheticsmagazine.com. In this episode, we are going to describe how sunscreen works. The active ingredients in sunscreen are made in one of two ways. They are either ground up to a fine powder and mixed with a type of oil, or they are produced in a chemical reaction that produces the sunscreen oil. Zinc oxide, a white powder commonly used in sunscreen which works as a physical blocker and reflects UV light before it hits your skin. First, zinc sulfate and oxygen are reacted at 950 degrees Celsius to produce zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide. This zinc oxide is then powdered and mixed with a small amount of oleic acid. The mixture is then ground up, and more oleic acid and any remaining oil is added to create a smooth, thick paste. Finally, water is sprayed into the paste in a similar manner to the method of making the aerosol sunscreen. The paste is mixed until it forms tiny spheres of the oil and zinc oxide mixture. Drops of the mixture are carefully added to a preheated oil in the heated part of the machine. As the drops fall, they solidify into robust droplets due to the temperature of the hot oil. As they fall further, the droplets cool down to form solid sunscreen spheres. Once they reach the cold oil at the bottom of the machine, they have hardened and are ready to be packaged up. As the sunscreen is dry, it can't be used as an emulsion, so it is a type of suspension. The zinc oxide and oil don't dissolve, the oil on the skin simply makes it easier to spread. Most sunscreens contain a combination of different active and inactive ingredients. The main elements or substance categories in the sunscreen are UV light filters, active ingredients that help sunscreen do its job, emollients that keep the skin soft, and inactive ingredients that help to stabilize the mixture. Each of these elements, organic and inorganic UV filters, has a different role to play. For instance, the active ingredients titanium dioxide and zinc oxide are considered mineral filters. Mineral or physical blockers sit on the skin's surface and reflect UV radiation. They are effective at providing protection against both UVA and UVB. On the other hand, active ingredients like avobenzone, octocrylene, and octocrylene are considered chemical filters. According to dermatologists, several chemical filters are effective at providing broad-spectrum protection, but only if used in the right combination. Because mineral and physical ingredients can reflect UV radiation, they can be less irritating than chemical ingredients for people with sensitive skin. But there are also another set of ingredients that are not UV filters. For example, vitamin E, while not directly working against UV radiation, is an antioxidant. It can help to neutralize the potential damage caused by UV radiation and the UV light-induced free radicals in the skin. Besides, vitamin E is vital in maintaining skin integrity and preventing the skin from premature aging, especially in conjunction with sun exposure. These enriching antioxidants are often added to sunscreens. When you are purchasing a sunscreen, it is essential to evaluate the labels to find out whether the product presents a broad spectrum and water-resistant protection, and also to examine the sunscreen's SPF. Sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30 is normally the recommended option, but if you have a history of skin cancer or a genetic predisposition to the condition, or if you have a compromised immune system, you may want a sunscreen with a higher SPF. Water-resistant does not indicate that the product is waterproof, but the label should tell you how long you can manage to get the full sunscreen protection while swimming or sweating. It is advised to reapply the sunscreen every 2 hours and immediately after swimming or sweating for better protection. When choosing a sunscreen, it will be great also to consider your own skin type. For example, if you have sensitive skin, it is important to choose a sunscreen that contains ingredients less likely to cause irritation. Mineral sunscreens are likely going to be the best bet for sensitive skin types, as the active ingredients, zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, are less likely to cause a stinging or burning feeling. On the other hand, if you have greasier or oilier skin, it may be beneficial to choose a sunscreen in the form of gel as opposed to cream. Gels generally have a water base and alcohol, helping the product to dry faster on the skin. Also, it is important to note that some sunscreen products have a particular shade or skin tone labeled. While these may suit some individuals, dermatologists often recommend choosing a product with a simple broad-spectrum claim and then reapplying it throughout the day. Keep in mind that, in reality, applying at least 1 ounce enough to fill a shot glass to cover all exposed areas of the body and a nickel-sized dollop to the face each time is needed for the best protection. And when using alongside insect repellent, it is advised to apply the sunscreen first and then the repellent. This is because chemicals found in the repellent may affect the SPF. Combination products, such as moisturizer/sunscreens or foundations/sunscreens, are fine. However, it is often advised to use a separate sunscreen and a separate insect repellent for the best protection. This is because combination products often do not provide adequate protection from the sun and mosquitoes, as they need to be applied more thinly and rubbed in as moisturizers. As a consequence, the SPF of the sunscreen will be lowered. And if the skin is not fully covered with the mosquito repellent, the sunscreen may not provide the mineral SPF as stated, as bugs may land in patches of exposed skin. Sunscreen should be applied to dry skin 15 to 30 minutes before going outdoors. The general recommendation is to use at least 1 ounce, a shot glass full, to cover the arms, legs, neck, and face of the average adult. Sunscreen needs to be reapplied at least every 2 hours, and more often if you are swimming or sweating. Although the newest sunscreen types may need to be applied less often, there are not enough long-term studies to confirm this yet. Remember to reapply at least every 2 hours. Look for a broad-spectrum sunscreen with the active ingredients of zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. These ingredients are less likely to cause skin reactions. When outdoors, wear wide-brimmed hats and UV-blocking sunglasses in addition to properly applying sunscreen to further protect the skin. Furthermore, sunscreen should not be used to increase the amount of time you spend in the sun. Even the very best sunscreens will only filter out roughly 55% of the sun's damaging rays. This means everyone, regardless of skin type, can get a sunburn. Sunscreen is really meant as a helper when trying to keep the skin's UV exposure down. Remember that there are other prevention methods, such as physical barriers, hats, sunglasses, clothing, and general protection, to limit UV exposure as well. Sunscreen use is only one step towards practicing sun safety. And finally, it is worth mentioning the Environmental Working Group has some concerns about the safety and efficacy of vitamin A as an ingredient of sunscreens. They claim that vitamin A may speed up cancer, but many experts argue that the claims have been overblown and the evidence is not strong enough. As always, maintain an open dialogue with a healthcare provider. Discover the natural power of vitamins with this new book, Understanding Vitamins in Skincare by Greg Rishaw. Learn how vitamins can nourish, protect, and renew your skin, all while embracing a healthy, balanced approach. Get your copy today and uncover the secrets to natural ingredients. Understanding Vitamins in Skincare is available now on Amazon.com.